To turn our attentions to the international papers, Diptyque Laurent is back with us. Diptyque, apparently still a lot of coverage for that Congress in China.
That's right. We've been following the Chinese papers, the front page of the China Daily, which says, striding into a new era, with a very regal photo of Chinese President Xi Jinping. It's a new era heralded by himself, by the leader himself, to build China into a great modern socialist country. We got similar praise from the Shanghai Daily, which says that President Xi used the phrase new era 36 times in his 3.5-hour speech. They hail his confident vision for a prosperous China, I'm quoting there, one that will eliminate corruption, income inequality and pollution. Sounds very feasible, doesn't it? What's interesting, though, is that there's a lot of skepticism in the Western press. The Guardian's editors, for instance, today remind us that this event, this Congress, is all about Mr. Xi. Many suspect, for instance, that he won't step aside in 2022 as per the two-term presidential limit in the country, and that no heir will be put forward in this Congress. Mr. Xi is the chairman of everything and master of all. That's what the Guardian says, and it appears that's how he wants to keep things.
Okay, so he's looking to keep control and popularity across the other side of the world, though. It's a president that is struggling and getting renewed criticism, this time for his reaction to the death of US soldiers.
That's right. David Terrence Johnson was an American service member killed in Niger alongside 3 other U.S. soldiers. Now, Johnson's name has become really a national headline in the States after Trump called up his pregnant widow to offer condolences, as the president does, and ended up making her cry. He told her, I quote, he must have known what he signed up for. That's what he said to the widow of a slain soldier. Even worse, Trump appeared not to remember the name of that soldier, prompting public outrage. Now, Trump, for his part, has angrily denied this version of events, but Johnson's family, who were present during this telephone call, say it did happen like that. Richard Wolff from The Guardian really rips into the U.S. president in this opinion piece, saying, "Just when you thought there was nothing left to destroy, Trump proved us wrong. I quote, you can't screw things up this spectacularly by chance or human error. It takes a lifetime of effort and habit to be this incompetent." The writer says Trump's reaction could well be the biggest failure of his presidency, and it's barely been a year.
Yeah, not even. Okay, well, let's turn our attentions to something different now and go to Russia, where a new candidate is running against Vladimir Putin there in next year's elections.
Well, running against him, possibly running interference for him, it still remains to be seen. It's not very clear for the moment. The Russian daily Kommersant explains that, they've put Ksenia Sobchak on their front page. Obviously, that's Vladimir Putin. The Western media has actually dubbed her the Russian Paris Hilton, as you see from The Independent, because she's actually a socialite, notably hosted, I quote, a local, raunchier version of Big Brother, and entertained the tabloids with a string of scandalous relationships. If anything, her star appeal is sure to energize an otherwise predictable, possibly boring election. That's what The Independent says.
And they point out likely to draw support away from that opposition, Alexei Navalny, who has gained a lot of attention in recent years and recent elections. Politico also saying her candidacy could be a ploy.
That's right. It could be a ploy from the Kremlin, particularly from Vladimir Putin, because Sobchak describes herself as a candidate against all others, yet she herself comes from political royalty because her father was Anatoly Sobchak, the man who gave Vladimir Putin his very first job in politics. Some say that Putin is even her godfather. And Sobchak, what's interesting is she made headlines in 2011 because she attended anti-Putin protests. So it's not very clear where she stands politically. And Kremlin critics in particular are very suspicious about this bid. According to Politico, Alexei Navalny, the opposition leader, accuses her of being a spoiler candidate, one who's there to take votes away from him.
Okay. Well, another alarming revelation now is about insect populations. Apparently, they're declining by 75% over the last 3 decades.
That's right. Die Welt, the German paper, is talking about that, what they call the mysterious absence of humming. Between 1989 and 2016, insect populations in Germany, like bees, butterflies, beetles, have, they dropped by 75%. It's not exactly clear why, but scientists think it could be a combination of different things like climate change, change in land use, and pesticides that have been wiping out these insect populations. And they're obviously crucial to the ecosystem because 60% of birds are reliant on insects for their own food.
Okay, yeah, you wonder how they even managed to survey or quantify all of that. Getting rid of mosquitoes, I'm fine with, but the rest, happy that they stay.
And cockroaches too, if possible.
The list will start to grow long.